Welcome to the Temple of Flame. On today, Faith Black Lights, we take a look at this. And what this is for Melinda's, it is the fire roasted garlic and habanero. We're calling it a pepper sauce here, I guess. Set your mouth on flavor. Let's see, what do we got here? You want the fire? That's easy. Okay, good to know, good to know, good to know. These supposedly are the best habanero peppers on the planet. Looks like they used red ones, I do believe. So we have a roasted pepper mix, which is roasted habaneros and roasted sweet peppers, white vinegar, water, roasted garlic, lime juice, passion fruit pulp. Interesting. Salt, xanthan gum, citric acid, ascorbic acid. So, citric acid, lime juice, ascorbic acid, and vinegar. This might lead one to think this is a fairly astringent sauce. And if one thought that, one would be pretty much on the money. So this, as soon as I saw this, I had high hopes, because it said fire roasted. And if you have engaged or experienced my content to any extent, you know that fire roasting is, in my view, the premium way to experience pods. And fire roasted habanero, this is my favorite way of having habaneros, fire roasted. Fire roasted garlic, I'm less keen on. I don't know that I would actually even attempt that, just because I like the way of basically cooking it down over time with olive oil, a little bit of salt, some cracked black pepper, just in like an oven, like just in a pie dish or in an air fryer or something like that. It tends to caramelize the garlic, and it just brings just a gorgeous flavor to them. I guess you probably could do the same effect with fire, but I don't. So the reason why I like fire on pepper so much is you get that nice bit of char to it. I don't think that is, garlic can tend to be towards the bitter side as it is anyway. I don't know if that really is going to be what I would want to do to add more of that element. But anyway, this very gorgeous looking sauce. Like, it looks really good. Very nice, deep sort of red orange with the black flecks in it. Visually, this is a fantastic looking sauce. Yes, indeed. Let's get on into the flavor then, shall we? You do get a nice sense of the habaneros there. So it's a tad on the bitter side, this is. But it is very, very astringent. Way more so than I would want. So my standard for this is the wonderful fire roasted garlic sauce from Irazu. And that is a standard by which I compare anybody else that attempts that style of sauce. This one just has way too many astringent elements to it. There's a good flavor there, but it is so stepped on with all these acid types, the citric and the the acetic from the vinegar, ascorbic and lime and everything else. It's too much. If it had the astringency dialed down by about half, this would actually be a pretty wonderful sauce. But it doesn't. So to me, that is the one major drawback to this. All that goodness that you're getting in there from fire roasting the habaneros and the other peppers, and from the roasted garlic, you're just trading away in favor of just that astringency. And I don't understand why you would ever make that decision. Melinda's makes a lot of, honestly, so with their sort of expanded product line in 2025, and I'm recording this at the end of 2025, they have made some really curious, to my mind, decisions. This would be one of them, this approach. And it's like the cloves and the ketchup. They make these decisions that I feel compromise what they're trying to actually do. I just don't understand it at all. So I made here huevos y frijoles with queso. Basically a breakfast burrito. And then I overstuffed it. So I don't think, I was going to pick it up and eat it. No, there's not a, no chance. Way too much in there. Let's see if I can't get you a cross section of it here. I kept thinking that I wasn't getting big enough tortillas. That's what I kept thinking. So there you can see, let's do it this way. You can see the beans, the eggs, and the cheese, the gorgeous cheese, kind of gushing out a little bit there. So I don't know how to do this. I think what we'll do is my plans are all for naught, unfortunately. So I think what we'll do is I'll just cut it here, and then we'll just throw some on here. We'll just do it this way. If I was going to overstuff these, I might as well just have thrown the sauce in the burrito. Oh man, that is so good. I wish I would have thrown some breakfast potatoes in this. Think of that, some nice seasoned breakfast potatoes with the eggs, with the refrieds, with the cheese. This sauce would have worked really well with that. If I can find some larger tortillas, I might do that. The breakfast burrito is fantastic. It's working okay with the astringency of the sauce. This is a pain having to do this every time though. So I did a taco sauce from Ortega called Blazing Fire. The review for that is probably up by now. I made a whole new playlist of the other condiments that aren't hot sauces or mustards, and it's in that playlist where you can go check it out if you're interested. I still got some of that left in the bottle, and that is such a delicious sauce. I'm really struggling to use this while I have that around. But I'm not going to have to worry about much longer because I'm going to eat that right up. And then this will be the Mexican style sauce that I have on hand. What do we have here? We have a 12 fluid ounce. This is like $3 or $4. I mean, it's just, it's hard to look past that kind of a deal. If their sauce is good at all, really, that's a phenomenal deal. Somewhere in the range of $3 to $5 for a 12 fluid ounce bottle of sauce. Most of the sauces that you see on this channel or in this series and on the blog are in those 5 ounce glass bottles. And they range in price. I am tired of seasoning every single bite here. So let me just... But they range in price from anywhere from... Some of those I've got for as low as $5. Some of those go to 11, 12. This is more than twice one of those bottles. So definitely a stellar deal if the sauce is any good. This sauce, again, is just... It's in the area, it's just not all the way there. I just don't know who's coming up with these decisions. This apparently is out of Colombia. Maybe they should hire me. And then I can look at their ingredient list and ask, to me, what is the obvious question is like, why do you want to do that? There's very few ingredients in that irazu sauce I mentioned, but it is easily 4 or 5 times the sauce this is. So I don't know. Maybe it's a pH issue because they're putting it in these plastic squeeze bottles. By the way, these bottles are quite good. Outside of, I mean, there is the obvious issue of plasticizers leaching into the sauce itself, but how big of a worry can that be when we're drinking out of plastic bottles all the time anyway? I saw a video where they very, very gently scuffed the paint of a soda can and then dropped the aluminum portion in acid after it was scuffed. And there was a plastic liner left because the plastic liner will give them a few more days shelf life. Well, actually, probably quite a few more than a few days shelf life, as opposed to the more porous aluminum. That's why we all have microplastics in our nuts if we're dudes, and if we're in our brains for everyone else, your milk is in plastic jugs. Your margarine comes in plastic tubs. Your peanut butter's in plastic. So, a lot of people, I think, get concerned about plastic, like stuff like this. Don't use plastic spoons because it will modify the taste of the sauce. It only matters if you have a basis of comparison and a context. I mean, it's probably not good to have microplastics in your brain. If you think about plastic, plastic does not conduct electricity very well. And all those little neurons that are firing in your brains, that's electricity. So, when you have a whole bunch of insulators that are in the way, like that is long range, probably not going to be the best thing. Although I think, like I said, glass, I think they use more for just the idea that it's not going to tinker with the flavor of the sauce. But again, you know, context of comparison and so on. I think these are kind of handy. This is the correct plastic. It's a nice soft plastic. Like, this is a quite good cap and nozzle system. Like, as far as I'm concerned, they're doing packaging wise quite well here. My issue with them, I think, is what's inside, really, the sauce itself. And they just keep making these really bizarre decisions, like this one. You know, primarily you would use this on Mexican style foods, most likely, where you don't generally want a whole bunch of astringency. It's supposed to be a warm, comforting, hearty, rich sort of flavor dynamic. And when I think of taco sauces, it is more like that Ortega sauce I mentioned. It is not like something like this, which is, it's not as astringent, say, as like a Louisiana style or a Cajun style or anything like that. But it is way more vinegar forward than I would ever want in a Mexican style sauce. So it is, like, the flavor is still pretty solid. And I mean, I'm not going to not use this. Like, I will go through this entire bottle without a problem. I just don't. It's a shame because at the higher levels, the fire roasted habanero and garlic is a quite good sauce. And this just is not up to the measure there. If you don't mind that in your sauces, like I said, the value here is quite pronounced. Like $4 to $5 for 12 fluid ounces of a sauce. If it's any good at all, you know, that's a pretty decent deal. So deal wise, it's definitely there. But you know, the devil's in the details, and to me, they're going several miles, but they've still got a few to go, and including with this sauce, and we'll just leave it right there. So that was the Melinda's fire roasted habanero and roasted garlic. I said it wrong. That was the Melinda's fire roasted garlic and habanero hot sauce. Now go pull in peace to serve the flame.